there Kyrgyzstan here? Kyrgyzstan. Okay. I only have male countries that I couldn't pronounce the name. I don't know whether. So because when we're filling out the case, they ask a passport picture. So I was thinking maybe they look at my face and say, no, they give me pen and paper. So at Pakistan, I had male countries, but I really came to understand the essence of these beautiful countries. Like countries like Yemen. Yemen is an awesome country. Country like Uzbekistan. Is Uzbekistan here?
Mr. Secretary General, WPG, members of the Secretariat team, conference officials here present, members of the players, Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates from member nations, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, it's my great pleasure to invite, as I'm just expert facilitator on this topic.
Those ones are also looking for another better nation to go to. And when you keep going, they say, I wish I was in your country. Say, really? Someone said, just let's exchange. How many of you decide to exchange from your country? You want to go from your country to another country? That's why you're here, to make your nation better. You ain't going anywhere. You are going to stay there. Visa denial. You're banned. All right?
So we are going to the speakers list. A time will come during the committee session where they will call for, someone had to motion for the speakers list to be open. This would mean that after you've agreed on whatever topic you discuss on, you just come and present your country's stance on the topic. You address the committee on the topic that is under discussion.
I'm killing them shot. Because I swear God, if I go killing them back. Rah, we go to win them like that. Oh God, make a no be a belly jack.
Professor Tayo and Professor Okoro bought into the idea of the Babcock International Model United Nations when we were just 5 of us who came together to start this conference. And today, ladies and gentlemen, look around. We have over 380 participants for this conference. We want to thank you for believing in us. We want to thank you for being interested in sowing seeds of greatness into young person. We want to thank you for opening the doors of Babcock University to this wide audience. May the Lord continue to bless and honor you and multiply the seeds of greatness in all of us. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you, sir. July 2019. Thank you so much for honoring the invitation to be with us. Thank you so much for accepting to speak to the young people. We are very grateful and we can't wait to listen to the words you brought to this amiable diplomats tomorrow. Thank you and congratulations, distinguished ambassador. Thank you so much. You came with his beautiful wife. May you please give. Thank you very much. Say our wishes.
Thank you very much. It is July 2019. Thank you very much.
With each token, we appreciate all of the person. Thank you very much. Let's do it like that.
It's an award of excellence for your dedication, hard work, and devotion to the success of the third session of the Babcock International Honor of United Nations, dated in July 2019. Continue to inspire us with your good works.
one of the most vibrant oil-producing countries in the world. Peru has a very strong, diversified economy and is well capable of delivering aids to other countries. Some allies in our and business partners of Peru, Venezuela, Ecuador, and Bolivia. Peru has some very nice policies that encourage delivering aids to other countries, and the delegate of Peru wishes that a resolution is made after these proceedings that there will be more policies, stronger and stricter policies that have to do with delivering aids for stronger countries like the USA, the UK, on policies that make sure that all the money and resources that are being delivered are not spent wastefully by their leaders and are not spent on the wrong things, even the poor countries that have been given this aid in shambles. Thank you. Thank you.
Delegate of Cote d'Ivoire has already made the point clear that Cote d'Ivoire is not saying that only the P5 should be involved in Yemen crisis.
Terrorist group. To prevent these terrorist groups from empowerment is of their importance to various countries of the world. In order to do so, the US would work in enhancing international regulations against terrorist empowerment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the US.
Leave this room during this armored. They're going to stay in, form blocks, and start forming allies and discussing.
They are not here for lecturing. It casts huge aspersions on the dignity and indeed the hallowed composition of this committee. Might we remind the Russian delegates that DISEC is a strategic committee of the General Assembly, and in as much as the Security Council has passed the sanction and to place embargoes, it relies also heavily on some of the work that DISEC does with regards to its mandate also. This is a strategic committee, and if members are saying we need to know, it is incumbent on DISEC, based on the legal maxim that he who alleges must prove, to provide these facts, so that we can have a balanced conversation, we can have a free flow of communication. You cannot throw words one way and not expect to get a reaction. When you get a reaction, it's incumbent on you to be diplomatic about it and provide the necessary response so as to ensure a healthy debate and a quick approach to seeking the resolutions that we deserve. Russia.
Thank you very much, Chair. Due to the unanimous agreement with the members present of the Security Council, the Russian Federation has deemed it fit to send the same information to the chair of the DISEC committee for his perusal and then subsequently bringing it before the House.
That would be important. Thank you. Oman?
Why was chair of the House? The delegate of Oman was insulted this morning. The delegate from Security Council said this is a humanitarian crisis, and now he says that this doesn't concern us except delegates from North and South Korea. So are you trying to say that there are no humans in my country?
The distinguished delegate of Oman. Thank you very much. In the submission of the President of the Security Council, it was stated that it is a humanitarian crisis that affects the world. It might interest Oman to know that we live in a global village where whatever affects a country affects everybody. The President of the Security Council did not say Oman is not involved or there are no demands in Oman. At this point, the President of the Security Council would like the delegate of Oman to withdraw that statement made Otherwise, Oman will be sanctioned by the Security Council.
Mr. President, within the spirit, in the spirit of fair play, of diversity and inclusion, in the spirit of equal rights that each nation has, the Omani ambassador only made reference to the speech as made by Iran. Implicitly, in trying to disregard, and that was what the chair did say earlier, in trying to disregard or discountenance, or might I say, with a wave of hand, throw aside
your own country. Let us not see it as a Yemeni crisis or an Arab nation crisis. It is a global crisis. The Security Council is making an appeal that when we return to our various countries, discuss with your heads of states and governments, let us all work together, join other intending nations, so that we can all provide solution to the crisis in Yemen, and by so making the world a better place. Distinguished Chair of the General Assembly, Wanda said, we say a big thank you for hosting the Security Council. See you some other time.
Just before you step on behalf of the membership, the various membership, the various organizations, I'd like to extend our profound regards to the Council for coming in to check on us and to perhaps examine the quality of work that we do. We're all partners in achieving the SDGs, in solving the greatest crisis that our world faces, but most importantly, laying foundations for the future that we all want to see. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Chair.
Give yourselves a round of applause. Suspend from our deliberation. Listen, what just happened is a fundamental lesson. It is a lesson, and in fact, for some delegates, it takes them about 5 years, or more than 5. Madam Rita will agree with me. More than 5, 6 MUN experience to learn. This is the first MUN. To learn what this young lady did today. Stand up, even if they are not sure of what you are saying. You know what it means to stand and look the president of the Security Council in there and tell him, forget it, what you are saying, we don't know, get back. And then Russia came, and then she stood her ground. And the man, that is how it is. Even if you have to, yes, I will get back to Pyongyang, I will get back to my government, and we will deal with this. You don't have to, Security Council. And some of you are already scared to take it council. Put your hands together for yourself.
Just put their head for the whole thing. Let them understand that it's not about being just be yourself. And know that no matter what you say, it counts.
Maybe they entered. If you had looked at
and another thing, it created an environment where it was interactive.
Yes, but then
serene environment. Nobody feels if at all someone is just talking up and talking stupid things. That's why I always wanted to come.
What you just witnessed is a feedback session from one of the permanent observers of DISEC, and what we want to reiterate is the involvement of the parts, the role that the chair and the there is a place in the committee. And we would want this aspect to be a feedback session to the organizers of BIMUN for this year, to put in a lot more effort into the quality of the people we select to chair the committees, because that goes a long way to impact on each of the delegates' experience of BIMUN. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished gentlemen. We have special guests amongst us, the head of programs, the head of communications, and the Secretary General. Let us recognize them with a soft
Secretariats, the executive team, officials, and members of the BIMUN community of the world. We want to appreciate you for attending the BIMUN 2019 conference. We do not take your attendance for granted. You will do us a great favor by filling the link, the questions in the link that have been sent to you. Please, as soon as possible, please fill the link and submit. Thank you very much.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I request that all delegates here present, we rise as we invite the dais to come.
The House is in session, and I would kindly request all delegates present here to abide by the rules of the General Assembly. Remain seated and quiet.
The President of the General Assembly, the Secretary General of the General Assembly, as well as the Secretary, delegates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a pleasure to have students across 220 countries on our campus these few days. I wish to say your presence had added color to our campus. I want to thank you very much. I do believe in the course of your stay here, you must have learned some things, you must have made new friends, you must have networked with one another. I wish and I desire that the outcome of this engagement will go a long way to add value to your life personally and to add value to the countries that we represent.
Madam President of the General Assembly, the Secretary General, the Secretary, the Vice Chancellor of Babcock University, distinguished guests, all the delegates here present. It gives me great pleasure to add to what my Vice Chancellor has said, that your coming here has been a theme of joy to all of us. It started just a few years ago, and it looks like a child play, but now it has blossomed into something that is nationally and internationally recognized.
Delegates, please, we are still in a formal session. Clapping is not in order.
You are the future leaders of not just Africa, but the world. I know that sometimes people like to put others in a box, and I'm thoroughly impressed with the young men and women that are here, and I would love to have you in New York with me because of all the things that you're able to do. I'm not stealing your students, sorry. And I mean it, and I've said this to some students that are here, if you come to New York, you will be my guest, and I would love to take you around. It is one of my joys to show off New York City to people that have never seen it before, because it has a lot of mystery. One thing that I want to impress upon you is that you are better prepared for the world ahead than you know. And a lot of that is because of the simple idea of empathy. Our friend Oyen Oludube, where is he? Somewhere in here. He talked about empathy in his poetry. There he is. And I thought that was really important to emphasize. Some of you may have been aware of the water crisis in Cape Town not too long ago, and they continue to struggle. And one thing that struck me is that there are residents of Cape Town who struggled more than others. The residents who, on a daily basis, don't have the same water access as those that are flooded last year in January. So it's the idea that money coming from elsewhere, coming from the outside, comes into a community and circulates and multiplies. So people coming to Babcock for the first time, they bring in money and they spend money at the mall, and they buy foodstuffs and such. And that money stays, and then that money is used to pay somebody or pay a vendor, etc. Without money coming in from the outside, there's no new money, no new resources. And this is what I work on very heavily in Ghana in terms of working on the tourism ecosystem. And it's the same for Nigeria, it's the same for Senegal, etc. For any country or community. And I share that because, where possible, tourism can generate the funds to improve infrastructure, water, energy, and the human condition. So as we talk about the SDGs, tourism can be a big help with that.
I am really school. It's words of advice, words of wisdom, really sound deep, really deep. Professor Damien, many thanks we extend to you for your words of advice, words of encouragement, and we want to assure you that we'll put them into practice. Thank you for sticking around with us from day one to now, and to tomorrow that you leave for New York. We really appreciate the time. Without wasting much time, I would want to call to the podium the Head of Communications for Babcock International United Nations Conference 2019, in the person of His Excellency, Ifeoluwa Ariabaje, to give his submission. Excellency, sir, you have the podium.
The President of the General Assembly, members of the dais, distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. The innovation of greatness. In great humility to the posterity of humanity, I stand before you today. I would like to appreciate the Executive Director of BIMUN Nigeria, Chimela Samuel, for this great privilege to speak at the closing plenary session of BIMUN 2019. Distinguished delegates, it's safe to say, based on all this conference has achieved, that there is greatness in innovation. However, innovation comes at a price. Victor, a senator, in his article on The Guardian on 19th of June 2019, noted that America and most developed countries surprisingly have a prevalent culture of do-it-yourself. This attitude has fostered great percentage of responsibility, and with this, a great increase in innovation and the creation of great ventures. I remember the first time a friend of mine from the great Obafemi Awolowo University, who was going to attend the Model United Nations Conference, sought my help in writing a position paper. To facilitate this writing, I charged her 100 Ghana cedis, which was roughly 8,000 naira at the time. I reckon that it was a bitter lesson she learned as she was subsequently spurred into reading the preparatory documents containing guides, rules and regulations of procedure. Now I can say confidently that she writes her position papers. When going for such elite conferences, she has become good at it. She has taken the responsibility to do it herself. In a changing world like ours, which requires more for human survival and excellence, we need to do it ourselves. Today, I stand before you with a solemn but necessary charge that you as delegates, officials and permanent observers take up the role of causing great change in various quarters. The greatness of the world we need begins with what we do with the little resources that we have received from the benevolence of God. On this note, permit me to assert, distinguished delegates, officials, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, that we at BIMUN Nigeria expect that after these beautiful simulations and well-crafted conference, you would have consolidated building capacity and strong institutional partnerships. I hope you have learned, unlearned, and relearned. As a result of this expectation, there is a need to affirm that the innovation culture starts from schools, where they encourage students to build skills very easily. Great world leaders begin here too. It is for these that I encourage to ponder and reminisce on the need to build Africa through innovation in all fields. Innovation is key to the new Africa. Innovators and makers. They are not just buyers, but sellers. Makers and craftsmen. On this note of pouring out my desires, I want to wish you all the best of luck as you commit to making a positive change in your institutions, workplaces, and immediate communities. The hard work and grit of the BIMUN team will continue to inspire all of us in creating and raising global talents all around the world. We are looking forward to the success of BIMUN 2020 as you plan to attend and spread the word of the greatness of this conference. With great innovation comes great preparation, and it starts now. Thank you.
It's not something you take it negative. It's something that you take with all seriousness. Why am I saying this? Networking is very key. Come 5, 10, 15, 20 years to come, the person that's sitting beside might be the president, prime minister, governor of a particular state or a particular country. And you would remember today Oh yes, he was the delegate of America. Yes, he was the delegate of Poland. We once sat together at BIMUN 19. And you have that opportunity to say, he or she was my friend. Why am I saying this in essence? You never know what you have now. It's probably easy to, or when the future comes, that you appreciate the opportunity you are given today. And as I said yesterday at the Supreme Committee, I still want you to get the point that if this was a musical concert or a much more social program like a drama program, something related to that, the entire environment of Babcock University will be filled. And programs like this are what you think would help you reach your goal, and that is why you are here. But if you are here, I want you to harness all the opportunities, all the skills which we've been trying to give to you. Also, my final remark I will say, I'm quite sure, as I already said initially, come 5, 10, 15, 20 years to come, we all will be kings. We all will be in great places. But I leave with this final note. Please, when you become king, walk gently, for even the ground speaks the mighty. Humility is key. Please, let's put that not on our right hand, because the Yorubas will say if you put it on our right hand, you might probably use it to eat. But put it on your left hand, keep it. Anytime you need it, open your left hand, look at it again, and give it back. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's really been a good time interacting with astute minds. It's really been a good time interacting with young, vibrant souls full of vigor. It's really been a good time interacting with you all. Trust me, I've learned a lot from you all. I've made new friends and made new connections, which is going to help me further in life. I really appreciate your presence. And also, I wouldn't want to sit down without thanking the administration of Babcock University. Professor Vice Chancellor, sir, we thank you for your hospitality from day one to today, and for your unwavering support towards the BIMUN brand. We hope that come next year, you will support us more. Also, I would want to thank the Executive Director of Babcock International Marine Destinations Conference, in person of His Excellency Chimela Chupemega Sambon. We've been good friends for quite a long time now. And if I could recount how we actually met and we happen to be friends, it's really funny. It was through fights in committee sessions, through hot debates, through lies, if I may put it that way. They would ask me, and from there we networked and we became good friends. And many other people here, I would not want to see their names because of time. But excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, whatever little thing you've put into this conference to make it a success is really appreciated. I also want to thank all those who have come from afar and near, alone and in multitude, to make sure that BIMUN 19 is a huge success. Many thanks to you all, and I hope our path crosses again. Thank you and God bless.
I need to feel complete. Your voice is so sweet, so sweet. I need to feel the same, the same. I know that we can be plain. As I sink deeper, feel my heart skip a I need to feel
My name is Eugene Abedi, and I'm part of the latest, the best, the most innovative, the most creative, and the hottest. Model United Nations.
The chair says you have 1 second more.
I yield it to the press out. Hi, my name is Black. I'm part of this year's General Assembly press out. My name is Alatunde Obafemi. You can call me Conflict. I'm part of the Conflict here. I'm part of the BIMUN press hub specifically for the BIMUN digest, and it's been fun. I only had 7 hours of sleep yesterday.
My
name is Kevin Jones and I'm part of the press hub, and we are awesome like that. Black, this black too.
I'm Ajayi Samuel Yanoluwa. I'm part of BIMUN volunteers there.
I don't even have a press hub. Left. Yes, talk.
Hi, I'm Alex Nodolaja. I'm the Bishop
Class, take my number.
Best photographer in the world.
Please, how many pictures have you taken? How many pictures have you taken?
Hi, I'm Victor Kelebe, BIMUN's creative director, and I'm part of the most creative team ever. Catch you next year.
Hi, my name is Grace. I'm part of the most fantastic team, the BIMUN press hub.
My name is Ife Arena Agbaje, unofficially known as Agbaje Burite.
For 2037.
Yeah, I'm privileged to serve at the head of communications, and it's been wonderful working with you. See you BIMUN 2020.
My name is and I am back. Okay, so see those amazing videos. Shall I be a guy? I'm saying, catch you.
The boys are singing. What time is lunch?